Uh, Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Ratnesh from Zebra Technologies. Zebra is primarily into automatic identification and data capture. Throughout the afternoon, you have heard about a lot about mobility and how it can help businesses, both from B2C and B2B perspective. So Zebra specializes in automatic data captures, which can help you automate your supply chain, have better visibility, which helps you to deliver customer satisfaction. Finally, we are all there in the business for customer satisfaction. So how technology can help automate the operations and how it can help you achieve visibility. I guess we are short of time, so we'll just skip the video. Now, everybody is speaking about omni-channel retail. Some facts which most of you would know, but Asia Pacific is definitely the biggest, you can say, region which is really booming with respect to online retailing. And China today, every $10 which is spent on online shopping, $6 are coming from China. So China and India are the largest with respect to the pie that is there with respect to e-commerce growth. And within that, actually, with respect to mobile phone technology and the way mobile phones are changing your shopping habits is definitely contributing and fueling this growth. Compared to North America and even Europe, the adoption of mobile phones for shopping is much higher the acceptance is much higher in India and Asia Pacific in general as compared to rest of the world, which could be surprising, but these are the facts which are coming out of various surveys which have been conducted. So what is omni-channel basically? Although we all experience online retail in India also, but most of us still see that we still shop a lot even in brick and mortar stores. So it is not about differentiating a brick and mortar store versus online. The whole thing is basically the brand has to be present and give options to customer where you are able to buy either online or within their store. It typically happens, and there are situations and scenarios where if you don't have better visibility, being a store operator or a brand, it is very, leading to a lot of customer dissatisfaction. A typical example which I can quote is basically I went to a shoe store to buy a couple of shoes for my school, for my daughter, and they were not able to give me that specific size. Standing at their store, I could go to their online website and show that their inventory was available, and I am able to order it online, but the store associate was not aware. So this is one of the major embarrassing situations, and one of the things which brick and mortar retail stores have to come up is one single inventory where you are able to show customer the inventory is available across the enterprise, and that is only possible if you have automation and better visibility in your operations. So it could have been a different scenario where the person could have come and asked me that I don't have physical inventory available in the store, but I can take your order and deliver at your home door. Would you be interested? And he could have just booked that order and delivered from his own store, where I could able to find that on a Flipkart, which is a marketplace. So these are some of the things which basically brick and mortar stores and will have to gear up and ensure that. So it is not a competition between online and offline. It is basically being present and giving option or choice to the customers. So again, the good old supply chain in previous to online retail was very simple. Manufacturers manufacture goods, deliver to DC brought it to store, and as a customer, you could go to any of the stores and buy stuff. And if you had to return the same, the return reverse logistics also will be the same. But with advent of online retailing, what is happening today is basically manufacturers are delivering directly to the customer doorstep. It could be delivered through a DCs or even a store. And the new added concept is click and collect. Most of us, basically, in especially urbanized states where both husband and wife are working and most of the day home would be closed, you have pickup points also now coming up. So we are also already working with a couple of petroleum companies where they're planning to have pick and collect. So you can online shop and come to our nearest location where you can pick up your stuff. So you don't have to, miss out on delivery or go. So even you can pick up from a nearest store also. So these are some of the complexities which are getting added. And what it adds to is basically, at the same time, with all these complexities, customer is expecting as soon as his order is booked, he is able to get what is the order delivery estimated timeline, and as soon as the order is dispatched and loaded on the truck, he should get an intimation. So with all these complexities added, where you have your inventories not only within your plant, but at your third-party locations, what is most critical is having that visibility. So instead of having inventory or having better products, what is critical today is basically service. Service is a battlefield for retailers and online retailers or even brands actually. So from a transportation and logistics perspective, what we are looking at, right product, right place, right time, and even at the right cost. And from two key solutions area which are helping customers of our customers, mainly 3PL operators, warehouse operators, and manufacturers, is basically pickup and delivery and warehouse operations. So we'll pick up on these two options, these two use case areas. Now, pickup and delivery, especially on the first mile and last mile, is very crucial. So as soon as I pick up the material from basically maybe it could be a marketplace situation where you are picking up the goods from a manufacturer, bringing it to your DC, and then packing and shipping it to a customer location. What is most crucial is basically as soon as this the material is picked, it is identified and made available in the system. So barcode technology like barcode and RFID combined with mobile technology is helping in this. And at the same time, when we are making delivering the goods and ensuring that customer gets immediate intimation is very crucial. Now, complexities which are getting added is basically customer wants to pay at his doorstep. So the devices or the solutions that you invest on should be having capability to basically collect payments and other things. So when you basically decide a device or platform which will be basically used for your field delivery operations, it has to be a scalable model, beginning with basically simple delivery operations, going upwards to becoming a point of sale terminal also, where you can make and collect payment also. So one of the things which is very crucial is basically when I'm doing picking or even first mile pickup, what if I can do mobile dimensioning? Now, apparel is a very one of the largest, basically you can say, segments on online retail. We all know apparel, basically with respect to weight, it is very less, but the volumetric weight is very high. So in that situation, if you don't know the volume weight and you're only charging the customer for the physical weight, it will be very, very loss-making proposition. So one of the technologies which is coming up is basically using the handheld device with a proximity sensor. You can actually identify the dimension of the box. So you can plan and charge the customer accurately, and more importantly, you can basically plan your basically truckload also. So instead of planning a big truck which is going 30 or 40% basically empty, you can plan two smaller trucks which will ensure efficiency. So this is another added technology platform with the same handheld device. You can actually do dimensioning on the go instead of having a DC where you bring all the boxes and do dimensioning, which takes a lot of time, and sometimes you may not have that luxury. Now, typical warehouse operations, we all understand basically what is warehouse and what it does basically. Right from receiving of material, basically inventory, doing a put away, tracking the entire journey of the material from point it has been received till the time it is dispatched is very crucial. And now we can implement best of the ERP systems, but finally system depends on data, quality of data, and timeliness of data. That's where mobile computing technology coupled with basically barcoding, RFID, and Bluetooth kind of technology is helping customers to achieve and get best out of their ERP systems. So I can have best of the breed ERP systems and SAPs and Oracles of the world, but if it is not available at the point of activity, when I'm making a mistake of picking a wrong box or the wrong item, then it basically leads to a failure. That's where basically mobility is helping. A lot of our customers have adopted these technologies in conjunction with the WMS systems, and it is definitely giving them a lot of efficiency and basically better visibility throughout their operations. So some of the key trends, actually, Zebra being one of the largest players with respect to mobility in warehouses, we keep doing a lot of surveys, and the Vision 2020 warehousing survey is another one of them, basically, where we identify people are looking at adding more warehouses. Now, this is not from a GST perspective, but it is also primarily from a customer expectation perspective in terms of being closer to the customer, as other panelists also spoke in the earlier presentations, where you need to be closer to the customer delivery point so that you are able to deliver products faster. So people are looking at more and more distribution centers. That could be one mother warehouse, but you need regional distribution centers. And what they're looking at is basically implementing full-featured WMS solutions. Now, majority of the resources in a typical warehousing scenario are invested in picking. So it is very obvious that you will invest more resources in picking. You may automate the picking process. But what is leading to failures is basically if you don't do put away, which is system driven, the picking process itself will fail. So if the system doesn't know where is the box lying, basically you will end up wasting a lot of time in the warehouse. It could be a forklift running around in the warehouse, or it could be an operator running around in the warehouse trying to find the material. And pick per hour or worker productivity in terms of number of picks he is able to do per day would go for a toss. So what we are observing is basically instead of going for piecemeal solution of automating a specific process, customers are looking at implementing full-fledged WMS solutions integrated with technologies like barcoding, mobility, and RFID. Now, we all speak about IoT, but from a layman perspective, or not from a layman perspective, but from a warehouse or a supply chain operation perspective, we had done this survey with Forrester as well as Gartner, where we surveyed about 100 CIOs in terms of identifying what are the key technologies that they identify, which can be basically considered as IoT. And a majority of them basically spoke about barcode, RFID, technology like Bluetooth and wireless as key contributors to industrial IoT or IoT solutions from a warehousing perspective. So we offer many of these solutions, and most of the warehouses are looking at automating their warehousing processes right from scanning, enabling instead of picking up an item by reading the code, you can scan that code, ensure that you are picking the right product, ensuring that the product which is being picked is in the right shape and size. Additional data capture solutions which are possible today is you can take photograph of the item in case you're not sure whether it is the right item, and in real time you can ask supervisor to confirm whether he has picked up the right color or right product or not. So these are some of the technologies which are getting invested on. Now, inventory management makeover is again a manual way of managing inventory. As we spoke earlier also, having real-time visibility and accurate visibility of inventory is very, very crucial. And there basically a paper-based system where you are counting inventory every day, it could be a cycle count also, will always be basically giving you less than 70% confidence. But if you talk about systems which are basically driven with handheld devices and barcoding technology, you are at least 95 to 98% sure about your inventory counts, and that gives you better confidence in terms of publishing that inventory online and giving you the confidence of booking the orders. That's the basics that need to be fixed is basically automating your inventory or cycle counts. That is again possible using technology like a barcoding and RFID. Worker productivity, everybody speaks about labor being cheap, but is it really cheap basically? In India also, what we are lacking and what we are seeing as a trend is basically lack of basically skilled workers. Here again, if we have system-driven operation, we can still manage with semi-skilled or basically to workers also, provided system is driving the entire operation. That's where basically full-featured WMS solutions combined with technology like barcoding and RFID and mobility is helping people to overcome this obstacle where system is driving everything. So if the picker is directed to each location where he has to go scan a barcode and pick up the right stuff without having to speak to 10 people to validate himself that he has picked up the right item or not, is being done using basically technology like mobility and barcoding. From a warehousing perspective, basically some of the key considerations. Now, smartphones are good for us to collect orders from the customers, but they may not be as efficient if you were trying to use them in your warehouse for doing your order picking, for doing your basically receiving or put away. You need devices which are rugged, they are built to last, they have batteries which will last a full shift, they have basically data capture technologies like barcoding, scanning, which makes data identification much faster. They should be available, they should be scalable in terms of integration. So these are some of the key considerations we would recommend warehouse and 3PL operators to consider and differentiate between a task or purpose-built device meant for warehouse and supply chain versus a smartphone. So these are some of the things that we should look at while selecting the right technology for the warehouse. And eventually it will contribute in improving worker productivity, ensuring that you are able to run the same warehouse with 30% more orders being picked just by empowering that worker and making him a smart mobile worker where he's always connected, he's able to validate data in real time without manual intervention and having a system-driven operation. Now, some of the, adding to that, basically, the time and again, it has been proven that non-rugged devices from a warehousing perspective or a manufacturing perspective has proven a costly affair. Although the initial capex could be lower, but eventually non-rugged devices will fail. They would have challenges with respect to replacement, repairs, and average TCO versus a rugged and a non-rugged, basically over 3 years, you will always find a rugged device solution, purpose-built, task-specific device solution will work out better and more productive for a warehouse as compared to a non-rugged device solutions. Now, the form factors are changing with respect to warehouses also. Some of the warehouse operators are already using mobility and barcoding. Now, where the technology is transforming is into getting into a wearable solution and having data capture technologies which is beyond barcodes or RFID. So you can even have these terminals where you can be speaking to this customer, your system. So instead of scanning a barcode or reading an instruction, the instruction will be read out to you, the user on the earphone, and he would be simply following that step. By simply changing that narrative from a screen-driven operation to a voice-driven operation, you can add up to 14% more productivity. And today, in Indian scenario, also the challenge of accent and everything is being addressed, and machine learning is adapting very fast. So one of the trends that we are seeing is the same hardware for platforms which are currently being used for scanning barcode and reading, doing your warehouse tasks, will soon be migrating to a voice-based or basically video-based solutions also. So finally, what it does is basically you need the right technology with respect to data capture, so you are able to sense and inform the right data, basically capture the right data, analyze data in real time, and act accordingly. Now, simple example that I can give is for example, I go and order basically a recipe for making kheer. For example, there are a lot of dry fruits, sugar and everything, and there is a basmati rice. I've ordered everything. Picker is able to pick everything, but he is not able to find 1 kg basmati rice pack because the pack which is lying there is damaged. Now, if in a regular scenario, he would have to run down to supervisor, say that don't find this item, or he may pick that order short and send it to the customer, who would be very, very unhappy because he cannot make kheer without that rice. But if you have systems where basically mobility is enabled, the worker will be basically prompted to look at other pack sizes. So there could be 2 half kg packs available, which he can pick and ensure that you are delivering 100% order. And all this is system driven without any manual intervention. So this is how technology is helping having the informed decision making at the point of activity. Now, getting this analytics done and taking an action 3 months or 1 week or even 2 days after the event has happened will not help you because you have already lost a customer. But having that information in real time and converting that into actionable intelligence is what mobility combined with software technology would help and provide you. That's where basically Zebra, along with our partners, basically is helping you do that. So just a brief about Zebra. Zebra is primarily into mobile printing, barcode printers, and mobile computing solutions, primarily focused on advanced data capture technology, helping customers like manufacturers, supply chain, and even field mobility applications. And huge history of innovation. The first mobile printers, first barcode basically handle devices, and leading up to basically RFID and similar technologies. Finally, the 3 megatrends which we talk about, IoT, cloud, and mobility, combined with enterprise asset intelligence. I'm sure everybody heard about enterprise asset intelligence throughout the day. Basically gives you a combined power which helps you improve productivity, have better visibility, and finally achieve a delighted customer. So this is how basically the whole journey with respect to right technology with the right solution in the empowered worker basically helps you achieve what finally we aim, improve productivity and satisfied customers. Thank you. If there are any questions, we are available at the stall. A lot of these devices are on display, so you can see them in action as well. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Ratnesh. Mayur, why don't you give away the memento to Ratnesh? Ratnesh, be on stage, please. Thank you once again, Ratnesh. Mayur is moderating. Thank you, Mayur. You've been of great help since morning.
So this next session is on IoT and mobile applications for enhanced supply chain visibility. We've got 5 panelists, a mix of end users as well as solution providers. So I'd like to call one by one Prem Sai Sainathan, Director of Marketing of Rombi Corporation. Prem. So Prem's going to initially talk about the successful pillars of IoT when one must consider while implementing. Next up, Vivek Gaurav from General Mills. Vivek is going to be speaking about IoT as a growth driver in supply chain with respect to demand and supply planning. Kapil Mahajan, CIO of Safe Express. Kapil is going to basically talk about IoT in use, so a case study from Safe Express. R.N. Mohanty, President of Technology for Pidilite Industries. He's going to talk about the initiatives on at Pidilite and the challenges facing them. And finally, Aditya Verma, MD of Athena Supply Chain Labs. He's going to talk about